A question on logical reasoning. Logical reasoning is very easy, but some students find it very challenging. That is why I've taken my time to be making videos on logical reasoning so that it will facilitate the understanding of students' knowledge on this particular topic. So you better follow me on YouTube. I have logical reasoning 1, logical reasoning 2, and logical reasoning 3. So I've given all the foundations on logical reasoning. Now, consider the following statements. All junior high students wear uniform. That's on premise X. We call this one premises. And why? Most junior secondary students are well behaved. Draw a diagram to determine which of the following is a valid deduction from X and Y. 1. Osei wears uniform implies Osei is a senior high student. Second, Kofi is a secondary student. Senior high students, yes, with senior high students. No, senior high students. Most junior high students. So let's get a senior high, but is that junior high? But yes, senior high. Okay, the senior secondary student, junior high, secondary student. Okay, we junior high students, junior high students, junior high students. Okay. And the third one, Kwasi does not wear uniform. He is not a junior secondary student or junior high student. So this is what you have to determine by drawing. Now, when we say most students or all junior high students wear uniform, what we should understand is that mean that in this world we have people who wear uniform, in which junior high students are under those people. So it becomes a subset. Junior high school students are a subset of those who use or who wear uniform. So another example is that what if I say all soldiers use gun? It means that we have people who use gun under this universe, in which soldiers are under those people. Soldiers are part of those who use gun. So all junior high school students wear uniform, mean that they are under people who wear uniform. Definitely, there are people who wear uniform. If not that, you shall not be talking about junior high school students wearing uniform. So in this, we can say let U be equals to students who wear uniform or people who wear uniform. People who wear uniform or students who wear uniform. Students who wear uniform. If you have students who wear uniform, then obviously junior high school students are under people who wear uniform. Students who wear uniform or people, we can use say people because we are talking about people, but here particularly we are restricting ourselves to students. Because the question is making up of students. So our universal set should be all students. Our universal set should be all students. So this U is not our universal set. So let me make this one students who wear uniform to be SU. So that our universal set will be all students. This will be our universal set. Now, SU represents students who wear uniform. And I say that all junior high school students wear uniform. Mean that junior high school students, J, is equals to junior high students. Junior high students. Junior high students. So mean that junior high students are under students who wear uniform. Or if you're talking about people in general, people who wear uniform, junior high school students are under it. So J belongs to S subscript U. Now let's continue. Most junior secondary students are well behaved. Mean that we are people who are well behaved. Because if you come to the question here, the last question, because he does not wear uniform, implies he is not a junior secondary student. That's Kofi is a junior secondary student, implies he is well behaved. So we have mean that the question is talking about well behaved people. So let W is equal to well behaved people. Very good. You see that well behaved means that we have well behaved people. So in that case, it tells us that our universal set should not be all students, because well behaved people does not necessarily mean that all people who are well behaved are students. So that here should be people, or all people should be people. Now, let's put this one into a diagram. If you have junior high students, and they say that those junior high students, all of them wear uniform, it means that we have people who wear uniform under which we have junior high students. So those students who wear uniform, people who wear uniform, S should be people, because since we have all people, there should be people who wear uniform. People who wear uniform. The people who wear uniform. Now, if you have this, let's draw the diagram. This is people who wear uniform. So that is, let's make it PU, not so. That would be appropriate. PU will be appropriate. PU, people who wear uniform. So PU is here. If you have people who wear uniform, PU, then obviously junior high school students are under it. And those, let me use this marker to indicate that you see this color, they are the people who wear uniform. They are uniform users. So all these are uniform users. Every part, the uniform users. Under which we shall have junior high students. So junior high students, that is the circle for junior high students. So you see, when I do the circle under people who use uniform, that's people who uniform, PU, you see that it has this color also inside, people who are using uniform. Mean that people who uniform, they are not restricted to the junior high schools, but rather outside it, we have people who are using uniform. Now, the second leg of the question, most junior secondary students are well behaved. So that means that if you have well behaved to be this, and we have junior secondary students, that they will intersect. So that junior and well behaved, so that this part of the people here are people who are well behaved. He said some, he said most. Most means the majority, but not all of them. So definitely well behaved will intersect with the junior secondary students. But some of them are well behaved. He said most. Most and some means intersection, because obviously not all of them. Even majority, most means majority of them are well behaved. So it means that the junior secondary students here will intersect with well behaved circle. So when I draw it here, so well behaved will intersect the junior circle here, and this well behaved W, well behaved W. Now we come to the questions. The questions we are using the diagram to answer the questions. You don't answer the questions from your own mind. We use the diagram to determine the validity or otherwise of the statements that have been given. Now, Ose wears uniform implies Ose is a junior high student. So that determine whether it is valid. If it is valid, it means that the statement makes sense in logic, meaning that it is logically grounded. If it is not valid, meaning that it has no foundation in logic, it has not got any proper foundation in logic. Now, look at the Ose wears uniform implies Ose is a junior high student, meaning that as long as we say that Ose wears uniform, then the conclusion is that Ose is a junior high student. Is it true? As soon as you mention that Ose wears uniform, then Ose automatically belongs to a senior high group, meaning that he's a senior high student. Or junior. That's junior. Junior high student. Junior. Look at it. When we say Ose wears uniform, means that Ose can be outside this. This one is junior high. And the colors there, you see the other green color. They are the people who wear uniform. Ose can be here. But Ose can be outside and still be wearing uniform, but not necessarily inside the J region. Outside the J region. So when we say Ose wears uniform, Ose can be here. But if Ose is here, does he belong to junior high school? Obviously, no. You see that? But if the question should state categorically that Ose is in junior high school, so he wears uniform, that statement would have been very valid. But in this case, statement I is not valid. It is not valid because Ose wears uniform. Uniform can be here, which is outside J, because PU, some people who wear uniform. And as soon as you say all do this, means that it is under the people that they are referring to. So people who wear uniform, J is under it. So these people, they also wear uniform, but they are not necessarily in junior high school. So that statement is not valid. Now let's come to the second one. Kofi is a senior, is a junior secondary student. It implies, this implies, it implies he is well behaved. Okay, let's see. If you are junior high student, doesn't that you are well behaved? Let's look at it. This well behaved circle. This one. All those who are here, who are inside this region, they are well behaved. And part of it is in junior high school. But it doesn't mean that all junior high school people are well behaved. Look at it. Well behaved is this, which will intersect with the junior high. So here. So if you are in junior high and you are here, mean that you are well behaved. But what about those who are here? So Kofi is a junior secondary student. Means that Kofi can be here, not necessarily Kofi being here. So that statement is not valid. That statement is not valid. Not valid. The second one, the third one, Kwasi does not wear uniform. If Kwasi does not wear uniform, obviously Kofi is within this region. This is the only region where I'm marking like times. Is where uniform is not used. The uniform is not used here. Implies he is not a junior. So those people who are here, are they in junior high? No. So those who don't wear, they are not. So Kofi does not wear uniform. So these people here, they don't wear uniform. And in fact, they are not junior high students too. They are not. They are not. Those who don't wear, they don't intersect here. So that statement, I, is valid. It's a valid conclusion from the premises. The premises X and Y. So these are some of the things that you have to take notice of in logical reasoning. When we say the language, when we say not all, or some, or most, not all, some, most, it means intersection. Not all men are wise. Not all men are wise. So if you have men bracket, and we have wise people, some of them we will intersect. We shall have some men that are wise, but not all of them. So there will be intersection. But if you say none of the men, so if you have men here, and we have people who are good, no man is good. No man is good. Now if you have good people, they are disjoint. Now if you have a man and you have people who are good, disjoint. Because you say no, or no woman is a soldier. Mean that if you have a soldier here, and you have women here, mean that they are disjoint. So you should understand the language of logical reasoning. For no and some and all mean that subset, it is under the superset. All men are wise. Mean that men are under people who are wise. You should have the wise, the group of people who are wise, the circle, and under it we have men. So that is the language you should understand in logical reasoning. So we have to solve more questions, you understand them. Thank you very much for watching Ninja Man.